It's been one of those days, weeks. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been a month. Months, plural. You know when everything is going great and you're working out, you're eating healthy, you got a pep in your step, you're in a good mood, and then karma decides that it's time to even things out a little bit. Balance the universe back out. And then proceeds to fire a poop gun at your life. And you nosedive into anxiety and sadness and self-destruction. And by you, I mean, yeah. This happened to me this past month. I skipped a day at the gym, and that turned into 2 days, which turned into a week, which turned into binge eating, scrolling for quick dopamine hits for hours. It's been a show, okay? Being in that negative rhythm can make you feel stuck, hopeless, burnt out. A lot of times when we spiral like that, we feel out of control, like there's some kind of greater weight that's just on us that's draining all of our energy and making it really hard to do things, and we don't feel like we are capable and in charge of ourselves. Even though I can't just snap my fingers and feel better, there are a lot of small steps that I take to ease my way out of the rut and kind of get that momentum going. The first thing I do is I be sad. The first step is accepting how I feel. A lot of times when I feel myself starting to sink into a depressive rut, I feel the cat claws come out and I just start scratching frantically, panicking, trying to get myself out of that negative feeling and fight the sadness. Like, no, we are not doing this. When I'm in a rut, I don't allow myself just the day to be in the state of sadness and accept it. So I constantly am trying to feel better, and I do that through like quick dopamine hits of like ordering fast food or scrolling on TikTok for hours. And those quick dopamine hits of trying to feel better is a lot of times the destructive behavior that keeps me in the spiral. It's because I try to run and distract myself from what I actually feel. So the first step is to get out of denial and actually confront your feelings. You know, what are you really feeling? Dig deep. Is it sadness? Is it anxiety? Is it frustration? Is it grief? And what might those emotions be stemming from in your life? Maybe try journaling about it, but really try to understand it. And just know that it's normal to have these times. It's part of the ebbs and flows of life. It'll pass, and your life doesn't have to turn into one big rut. I always used to fight the sadness because I would feel like it's self-pity, like, ugh, my life just sucks and I'm the worst and everything is terrible, and it just seemed kind of dramatic to sit in those feelings. My therapist always says you can be in an emotional place and even spend a lot of time there, but you don't have to move in and unpack and live there. And I think that's the difference between giving your feelings the time and attention they deserve and self-pitying and being way too comfortable in a really negative space. And moving on, when I'm in a rut, staying in my room, in bed, under the covers feels so safe. It feels really secure, and the outside world seems really scary. Even my living room feels scary. But then days go by and you don't really realize how bad your physical health is plummeting until you open your health app on your iPhone and it says you took like 12 steps that day. Moving your body is really important. I like doing full 2-hour workouts in the morning, but when I'm trying to get out of a rut, I lower the bar to encourage myself just to get going. So doing 15 minutes on the treadmill or just taking a walk around your block or stretching can really break that physical stiffness. Moving around is like the coffee your body needs to get going, and your mental and physical health are deeply tied. Research on exercise has shown that it can boost endorphins, relieve tension, increase energy, lead to better sleep and sense of accomplishment. So when I go to the gym or take a walk, I do feel like my body woke up a little bit, and even if I decide to go right back into bed after that, I do still count it as a win. Also, just being in nature has proven to have a lot of mental health benefits. Sometimes just getting out of the 4 walls of your bedroom and changing the scenery can really change your mood. There's something about touching grass and looking up at the clouds and seeing people walk by and realizing there's billions of people around me. that puts everything into perspective and really grounds me. Okay, the next thing that I do is I take an everything shower. I know when you're in a depressive rut, showering can feel like climbing Mount Everest. Sometimes it feels like there is a literal weight in me, and like even just moving up my hand feels heavier. But still, the cost benefit analysis of taking a shower is always worth it, because there has never been a single time in my life where taking a shower has made me feel worse. It's hard to feel put together and ready to take on the day when you stink and you have yesterday's sweat on you. So my everything shower is when I exfoliate, scrub my body, wash my hair, shave, moisturize, I do my face routine, and then I put on my favorite cozy robe or a big t-shirt. The goal here is to feel your body's freshness and cleanliness that can definitely seep and translate into the mental cleanliness and fresh start feeling as well. The fourth thing I do to get out of a rut is I remind myself of the do something principle. Mark Manson says that action isn't just the effect of motivation, but also the cause of it. Most people wait for some inspiration that leads to some feeling of motivation, and then they do what they need to do. They think those are the steps it goes in, but really it's an endless loop and you can pick your starting points. Oftentimes, the tiniest action will lead to the tiniest sense of accomplishment, which will lead to the tiniest sense of inspiration and motivation to do another tiny thing. Basically, just remember that you don't need to be motivated to take action. Taking a small action like making your bed can lead to motivation to put your shoes away or to sweep. But make sure you're not setting out to conquer two huge tasks for your fragile, sensitive rut state because of something called the Goldilocks rule. The Goldilocks rule states that humans experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right at the edge of their current abilities. So not too hard, not too easy, but just right. So if you're in a rut, maybe don't try to run a marathon or do a deep clean of your apartment. If that feels like too much, you're just gonna get exhausted and overwhelmed and be more depressed that you didn't do something. So make sure it feels just within your capabilities. Moving on, the fifth thing I do to get out of a rut is I declutter and clean my space. My space is truly a reflection of my inner state. I don't know if other people feel this way, but for me, it's so hard to feel calm and at peace when my environment looks chaotic, like a tornado went through it. Especially because I work from home a lot. If I see dishes in the sink and clothes piled up, the bed is unmade, trash is overflowing, I usually feel more chaotic, more anxious, less put together. But if I walk into my apartment and the bed is made, the sink is empty, the trash is taken out, the laundry is done, I feel so much more put together and ready to take on the day. Cleaning when I'm in a rut feels like taking control back when I'm in a depressive state. Also, it just looks nice, and visual stimulus, even subconsciously, can really change how we feel. Studies have shown that people who have more brightly colored environments with windows tend to feel more uplifted than those with darker room tones or with no light. So think about how you design your space and what kind of effect that can have on you. Wow, I really look like a whole burrito right now. The sixth thing I do is I practice self-compassion. A lot of the times during my slumps, I'll say something like, okay, I'm gonna start fresh tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be the day when I get back into my routine. And then tomorrow comes and it's the same day and nothing's changed and I slip back into my old bad habits. I feel weak and annoyed with myself that I didn't do what I said I was gonna do, and then I feel like crap, and because I feel crappy I will stress eat a pint of ice cream, and then I'll just feel more crappy because I'm eating junk food when I say I'm not gonna eat junk food. And then it just keeps spiraling from there. We love a good spiral. So I try not to beat myself up and be too critical and think I'm just the worst and I'm so lazy. Do you think that thinking you're weak and incapable is going to make you feel capable of doing things? No. The seventh thing I do is I eat clean. I'll keep this one super short. Eat well. I know that a salad is not as comforting as a burger and fries when you're sad, but what you put in your body can and will drastically change your energy levels. Your body needs nourishing food with vitamins. Don't underestimate that. Don't be eating Doritos for breakfast and greasy, cheesy bread and fries for lunch and then wonder why you don't feel good and don't have any energy. that one is on you. Moving on, number 8 is allow yourself to be silly. I feel like I never hear anyone else talk about this, but a lot of times when I'm in a rut, sadness becomes like my personality. I just embrace it. And if I'm scrolling through TikTok and laugh at a funny video, I almost feel bad for laughing. Like, how can you be laughing? I thought you were supposed to be sad, remember? A lot of times these slumps can get really dark and serious and sad. Sometimes just laughing or allowing yourself to be silly can be a really great, lighthearted reminder that hey, you're capable of smiling. You're capable of having little moments of joy, and you can build on those, and you don't have to lean into the depressive state. It's a reminder that there is another part of you that exists in there that's not all doom and gloom. This is not something I'm saying you should do. This is just what works for me. But I try to force myself to be silly, so I'll try singing in the shower or trying to learn a new TikTok dance, and it won't be too long before I crack a smile. And sure, maybe it won't cure my rut, but sometimes just cracking a smile after a long day of sadness is just what I need, and sometimes the best I can do. Number 9 is a quick one. I stay off social media. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, heck, even LinkedIn. Maybe it's selfish, but I don't want to see people's job promotions on LinkedIn or people drinking champagne on a yacht in Bora Bora while I eat popcorn for breakfast and haven't showered in 3 days. When my mental health is in a sensitive place, I really need to just focus on me and my energy without combining it or getting influenced with other people's energy. That is all I have for you guys today. Remember, take it slowly, be in your pajamas and a blanket all day if that's what works for you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video when I am out of this rut. Bye.